Did you really think you could just walk off with that?
Oh, is there some sort of costume party I'm not aware of? What a fun costume! Enjoy the rest of your stay in New Homestead. It formed because the weather was almost always ideal, and its location allowed filmmakers to more easily evade litigation by a man named Thomas Edison, who owned several movie-making patents at the time. We live a simple life on New Homestead, but make no mistake, it's fulfilling. It's an interesting story. New Homestead began as a scientific research base called the Titan Astrobase, back when space travel was in its infancy. In 1206 and the years following, a warlord named Genghis Khan conquered nearly all of Asia. But if you take a look, you'll notice our collection of rare Earth antiquities salvaged from before the collapse. It's quite the unique glimpse into our past. There was a time when many people believed that a man named Christopher Columbus discovered the continent of North America.
What do you think you're doing?
I could see how that might not be clear, given that it's displayed in the main concourse here. Put that back. He didn't, of course. There were already people living there, and he exploited, murdered them, and committed other atrocities. Long ago, people built boats to sail the Earth's largest ocean, the Pacific. They would travel from one island to the next.
Help! Murder!
Do I know you? I'm certain I've seen you before. No? I'm sorry. What don't you get? Take care. It was famous for being the birthplace of movies as we know them. For instance, my family comes from the city of Lyon, in a country that was called France. Whatever it was, it nearly wiped out most of the life at that time. A long time ago, thousands of years, humans built a wall so large it spanned the northern length of one of Earth's largest empires, China. If you have any questions about the exhibit or New Homestead, I'm happy to answer as best as I can.
Help! Someone's being attacked! Pickpocket! Stop!
Of course, certainly. We have several items in our collection that we rotate in and out over time, but they all originate from the same place, Earth. Well, look what the cat dragged in. Bear it. I apologize. Could you speak up? Hello there. The museum here is free to everyone.
I'll take that. Thank you.
I may need to brush up on this one because I forget some of the details.
Someone do something!
What do you think you're doing? Sure, I'd love to. Listen to this guy. There isn't much of this stuff left outside of private collections, but here we're happy to share a glimpse of them with the public.
What are you doing?
It's where we're all from. It was a place of beauty and unimaginable history. I cannot overstate how important it was for all of humanity. Why, certainly. It's what I do, although my memory isn't what it used to be. I try my best to get the stories right. Did you bring me another ancient trinket with anomalous gravitational signatures? Have I told you about the Titanic? Named after the same Titan our humble homeworld is. When that ultimately failed, it was repurposed as a colony research base, where scientists and engineers studied how to build colonies on inhospitable worlds. Now, some may have been lost in translation over the years, and some may have taken it more seriously than others, but the names are mostly accurate. There are times I envy those who are able to travel like you. Some of Earth's greatest civilizations formed this way. The Philippines, Indonesia, Hawaii, and many more. Have you ever heard of Bollywood? No, Hollywood. That's it. Though Bollywood is just as important. Hollywood was a city in a place called California. There will never be anything quite like them ever again. Not since we all left. But I can't expect everyone to respect that as much as I do. Anyway, based on the stories about how ruthless he was, I couldn't imagine bumping into Genghis Khan today. Anyhow, I wasn't interested when I was younger. I can only hope I piqued your interest. Yet, people actually believed he was some sort of hero for a long time. Even the Colony War pales in comparison. Most of our collection was donated by fellow Earth enthusiasts and historians who felt it belonged close to the homeland here in the Sol system.
Oh my God! Hey! Give that back!
To lay eyes on the Earth just once. You know, my apologies. I'm pretty sure I'm confusing that with an old movie.
Someone help me! Hey, give that back!
Here's one about the place my ancestors came from, France. In the late 1700s, people were unhappy with the way the king was running the country. For instance, take a look at some of the rare Earth antiquities we've assembled here. Imagine we went from the technologies used to make these trinkets to crossing the stars. Please do. Our collection of unique Earth antiquities is the best in the settled systems, if I say so myself. I am Maurice, Lyon, and I am the community elder. As the oldest living citizen at 96, my only job is to keep Earth history alive. They called it the Great Wall of China, and it was meant to keep out invading hordes. If I recall correctly, it didn't always work as well as they had hoped.
Hey! That isn't yours!
So what you're saying is, I should have charged you more. Let me think of a good one. Thanks for visiting. I heard that there was once a giant creature that attacked one of Earth's major cities. It knocked over buildings, and it was a massive ocean liner, the biggest they ever built at the time. Said to be virtually indestructible, but it sank when it hit an iceberg. Hubris truly is the folly of humankind. We have everything from toys to antique technology to sports memorabilia. We even used to have an old Earth vehicle, but we had to sell it when we ran out of space for it. Ha! And miss all this? Not a chance.
Help! I'm being attacked!
I understand. But I believe that everyone is at least a little curious about where they came from, and we can only do that by learning about history.
Don't try that again.
Asia was a continent, the largest on Earth. You may have seen it on old maps of the planet, and, I forgot where I was going with that. When our early colonists learned of Earth's demise, they decided to take on the names of their cities of origin as a way to remember their heritage. There was once a war so big that they say all of the world was involved. This was actually the second time it happened. I'll have to look it up again. Memory's not what it once was. The common people rose up and had a revolution, storming the Bastille. which helped them turn the tide of battle. Their reign ended when I can never remember if it was a comet, an asteroid, or a meteor that hit the Earth. I know these trinkets may not look like they hold a lot of value, but they're the last of their kind. They represent humanity's last ties to Earth. Then, finally, when gravity drives were commonplace and we started finding Earth-like planets, New Homestead was born as a living history community to preserve that past. Wonderful! These are all rare artifacts from before the collapse of Earth. Sorry, were you saying something? Eventually, they overthrew King Louis the 16th, I believe, and sentenced him and the Queen to death by beheading. Barbaric, but effective. I tell stories to the young people and the visitors from other worlds. It's quite incredible that even way back then humanity was constantly exploring and spreading far and wide, just like we do today. Hello there. Are you here to peruse our little museum exhibit? The hope was that humanity would be able to discover simple alien life here given the moon's composition and water supply. I'm not sure why, when there was evidence of people crossing a land bridge to get there tens of thousands of years prior. I suppose it's because we don't have the names of those people. There was a time when huge monstrosities called dinosaurs ruled over Earth, long before humans existed. They were similar to some of the larger life forms you might see elsewhere in the settled systems. That's mine! Give it back! They fought because a terrible man named Hitler rose to power and slaughtered many innocents. Millions were lost.